We are in a small room. We are aware that we are dreaming, but within this dream, we are also aware dreams are absolutely as real as everyday reality, as most people experience it. We're on a planet, not one in our solar system. It could be anywhere, in any form of consciousness, in any dimension or parallel omniverse. We are on the surface somewhere. It is very desolate, dry, desert-like, but primarily rocks, gullies, crumbling mesas. There seems to be a system of dried-out canals or waterways, which makes me think at first this is Mars. Then we look to our left, and there is a cliff, about a mile distant. It runs from the center of the horizon to my left. Though we see no landscape or mountains visible above the top edge of this cliff, its texture is very much giving an appearance of waveforms, exactly like a surface of a relatively rough sea, frozen solid, but then eroded and crumbling along the top edges, so there are small piles along the bottom of the cliff where it joins the horizontal, barren desert. The colors are ochres, sand, reddish mud with a thick coating of dust. We can see a rock, very different in composition to all the very washed out weak browns, oranges and yellows of the rest of the location. This rock is very dark grey or washed out black, definitely a grey sourced from black. It has a surface quite like pumice stone. Little sparks of silica, porous holes, lumps and bumps. We walk towards it slowly. We are feeling recognition. We have been here before, many times. This rock is familiar. We are aware that some kind of intuitive ritual or event happens here over and over again, neither pleasant nor distressing. The closer we get to the rock, which we know we have done countless times before, we become aware that the rock has actually been shaped to a small degree. It is in fact a seat, though my first thought was it was a throne. We walk slowly to the throne. As we do, we notice a flash of light, sunlight reflecting off the distant cliff face. We turn towards it. There is a huge window of some material like glass or perspex set into the cliff. It is about 23 feet high and square, so 23 feet wide. It is not flat though. It follows the undulating waves of the escarpment exactly. There is no light coming from behind it, so when it is not catching the sun, it is a square, black hole. There is a rustling noise before me. We turn back to find a figure is now seated on the dark throne. It wears a long flowing robe. This robe is dyed black, very black. It is obviously created from a voluminous amount of textile because it cascades in countless folds and creases to the ground, where it is piled up almost like a defensive bulwark, ready to repel any hint of the age, gender, or physical shapes of the being within. We can hear a slight rasping of breathing, and the robes move and shift occasionally, so we know it is inhabited by a life form, but no more than that. We try to see inside the hood before me. It hangs below where a forehead might be. There is no face visible. If we change position, just shadow, a slight feeling of something. It seems the more we stare, the less we can see. We become aware that we are not seeing a face obscured by shadows, more that there is no face. Our best judgment is that there is no humanoid head, but rather an upside-down, elongated, transparent pyramid. My mind starts to become conscious of a whispering, raw, sandpaper-like voice speaking in my head. We cannot comprehend any individual words, nor language, nor familiarity of meaning, yet we know we are receiving data of some kind. We are inputting information of some kind. It spoke. Your continuing repetition of apparent existences has brought our life loops yet again to a common intersection. We are blessed, all of us, that all beings of infinite kinds and kindness that occupy so many dimensions outside and within time should choose to care so much for us. We replied, in this thought-form way alone, thanking it for however it had achieved this appearance of reality and materiality. We talked at length with it, saying how crazy it seems when we wonder how it could possibly manifest from a beginning of nothing. How can anything be born from or created from total absence? The being stated, we are the dissident watchers. That is our function. Without our watching, nothing remains. There is only absence. It asked me if we remembered a vision we had after we received Coombe in summer 1969. That can explain how. And we recalled that vision. But was it a vision or a dream? A dreamed dream? The endless knot. We were in a void, a total void. True nothingness, no sense of mind, place, substance, living, a state of infinite black. but not just absence of light, but absolutely, utterly nothing. A form of nothing that had a consistency of a liquid, a thick, gelatinous, semi-solid liquid, like dense treacle, right on an edge of being a solid. This was not just black, not even black. There is a true black that until recently was only theoretical, that is now viable, made by creating some kind of nanoparticles of totally non-reflected carbon that totally absorb and cannot transmit any frequency at all. A hungry ghost of black, that kind of black. In this black environment, in this dream, we were fully dormant. We were intelligence and phenomenon in potentia, with no awareness of even such a possibility. We were nothing, in nothing, for nothing, not there, non-existent, unaware of our possibility of selfhood, of our divine possibility, neither male nor female, nor material, nor void, nor space. At this point, we experienced a great mystery, an A-story unfolding. We knew that we were not observing this state of oblivious oblivion. We were it, remembering the it, and suddenly, with no sense of it having been possible before, this happened. It blinked. Yet in that immeasurably tiny millisecond, it had instant, shocked awareness of itself, that it existed, had always existed, yet with no dream, no senses, no breath, no need, no touch, no light, nothing, no thing. Yet in that split millisecond of a blink, awareness of self occurred, could not be withdrawn. It was now self-conscious. It could not be forgotten, nor subtracted. We were suddenly observer, looking into that total blacker than black, gelatinous carbon black. Then we were it again, and with a conscious knowledge of being, lines of energies radiated from my single eye, deep in the darkness, immeasurably distant. These zigzag as we, frozen, just watched. Crazy broken lines of crystalline growth, seemingly made from gems and precious stones, endless, radiating, sparkling colors and geometric textures, initially infinite geological landscapes, piling up simultaneously in every direction, quake-reversally spreading out further and further, exploding and fragmenting, creating unique dimensions, spreading ever outwards to what would become the distant far reaches of parallel, weirdly shaped universes. Spinning shapes, building blocks of matter, molecule, glowing space dust, gears and cocks, levers of precious metals, all spilling from one eye, from a blink, destinies and stories, galaxies with perfect disasters and civilizations, a moment of solidity from nothing, born of consciousness of self. First, it was unknowing, hibernating, possibility with no reason nor awareness. Then it knew it was, and that was it. Cosmic organicism of the universal molecular.